Hello guys, my name is Ruben Joseph and I'm a third year BBA student studying at Universal Business School, Mumbai. In this video, I'll be talking about internet-fueled globalization and its consequences for business communication, along with a special mention of the concept of global English as a lingua franca from a business perspective. Before getting into the topic of internet-fueled globalization, let us understand as to what is globalization in terms of a business perspective. Globalization is a term that is derived from the word globe and it talks about countries and nations coming together. This increasing interdependence among the countries and nations is brought in by various factors such as advancement in technology, international trade, foreign investment, people, etc. Now let us take an example. I am a college going student and hence I happen to have preferences of what I carry and put on. Now the clothes that I wear are manufactured in China, whereas the bag that I carry is made in the US and the shoes that I wear are made in Japan. All these items from different countries are available to me just because of globalization. Now in case if globalization wasn't in effect, then I wouldn't be able to get my hands on these variety of items and hence I would have to stick with what's being produced in India. Because of this, the Indian producers might even charge more since there's less competition and hence I wouldn't have any other option than to buy what's there right in front of me, and hence you could say that globalization is very important. Since our topic falls towards the technology side, let us understand as to how internet and its applications have played a great role in globalization. So now what is internet? Internet is a method by which computers connect with each other and share information. The internet has opened door to many things, but its most common use is to access the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web, where you're probably viewing this video, is used by billions of users and is used for everything from sharing news, checking weather, placing an order, video conferencing, etc. In order to access the information in the World Wide Web, you need a web browser. Once you are in hold of the web browser, you can type in whatever you want and you will be displayed a page full of websites. For example, before watching this video, you had to go to your web browser and type in YouTube, and hence YouTube becomes a website. Whereas the page that the video is being displayed in is called as a web page. Obviously, this example is only applicable in case if you don't have the application. Moving on, let us critically evaluate social media as a channel of business communication. Social media happens to be websites, and just like YouTube, it falls under the category of Web 2.0. Now, before talking about Web 2.0, let us try and understand as to what is social media. Social media are websites or applications that are user driven, wherein any user can generate content and share information. This content includes photos, videos, images, ideas, reviews, etc. When a website or an application provides such a participatory and dynamic culture, it falls under the category of Web 2.0, which in other words is called the second generation of the World Wide Web. The first generation, that is the Web 1.0, are static websites where the interaction is very less and the content that is displayed on that page can mainly be edited by just the holder of that page. Now that we have introduced social media, let us try and understand as to how social media is being used as a channel of business communication. So now let's take an example of a social media application named as Instagram. It is a photo and video sharing website and is used by around billions of people. As soon as you open Instagram, you will find sponsored images and videos on your feed which have been personalized according to your interests. In other words, you could say that social media has helped the companies to reach their target audience quickly. Instagram also allows the users to turn their profile into a business profile. By doing this, the company will get to know as to how much traffic the advertisement is receiving, and it also provides the option of selecting the kind of target audience that they are looking for. But social media has helped the companies to get something better than just reaching their target audience, and it is the interaction that they have with the customer. Social media has helped the companies to build and strengthen the relationship with customers, as social media is helping the companies to not only gain feedback but also to get ideas and suggestions that will improve the business and strengthen the relationship. The companies tend to get feedback on the posts that they do. Other than feedback and ideas, the companies can direct the customers to the primary platform. So what is primary platform? A primary platform is a platform through which the company sells its product, or in other words, earn revenue. For most big companies, it is usually a website. So providing a link or a hyperlink with a post will help the company to direct the traffic towards their primary platform. Small companies tend to do business on social media itself. For instance, in Instagram, a company will post an image of the product that they are trying to sell along with the details of that product. And in case if the customer is interested in buying that product, then the customer can direct message the company. A direct message is a feature provided by Instagram which allows the user or the customer to have a one-on-one conversation with the company. Now let us take a look at the consequences of internet-fueled globalization for business communication. As I mentioned earlier, advancement of technology played a great role in bringing the countries together, and without it we wouldn't be having this topic for discussion right now. The technology that is used for communication such as mobile phone, internet has connected people all across the globe. Internet has provided people with a platform to share information across the globe and hence revolutionizing work and expanding the knowledge base. This itself states that the internet has had a huge impact in the business world. The internet has helped the companies to increase their efficiency and expansion rates since the information that is required in order to do so is easily accessible on the internet, such as checking the market opportunity or conditions of another country, or probably accessing the news of that country via the internet. Also, the internet applications, that are the applications run via the internet such as mail, Skype, etc., have given a boost to all the businesses. For instance, Gmail and email application is the most commonly used medium for non-verbal communication. Businesses can share information and communicate with each other from anywhere around the world using this application. Email applications are also used by businesses in order to promote their products and services, as well as to send important updates to customers and also to handle their queries. Let's look at another internet application which is widely adopted by businesses. Skype is an internet application that offers video and voice call between any device which has a camera and can support the application. Skype is used by businesses in order to conduct face-to-face interviews through video calling. This way, the businesses are able to cut down their business travel cost and are also able to save money on business call, as Skype happens to be a free application. With the help of Skype, the businesses have been able to open a job market for people all across the world, since certain posts might require expertise from outside the home country. Internet is also responsible for breaking down the communication barrier between culture. For example, in case if the documents sent by a company are in an unknown language, then with the help of translator application, you can convert those documents into your preferred language. And not only document conversion, but even if you meet that person face to face, you'll be able to communicate with the help of a voice translator. Hence, the internet has provided the companies with a competitive edge and has also helped them to reach out to a larger audience that they could ever imagine. Moving on to our next topic, that is global English as a lingua franca from a globalized business environment. So what is lingua franca? A lingua franca is a common language that is adopted between people who are not capable of speaking each other's native language. A language is considered to be a lingua franca not only by the amount of native and second language users, but also by its distribution and its usage in organizations around the world. English as a lingua franca can be ascribed to a key factor, that is the US and the UK falling in the top 5 global superpower list. Both these countries tend to hold a powerful position and have English as their native language. With that level of status, both of them were able to exert a significant and substantial impact across the world and hence making English as a lingua franca. The other factors include the British Empire introducing English in its acquired colonies as a method of instruction, the rise of US in diplomacy, science, technology and trade during the 19th century kept the popularity of English intact. Popularity of Hollywood movies can also be considered to have made an impact. The usage of internet has also contributed in the spread of English, as more than 50% of the content in the internet is available in English. Businesses tend to access a lot of information from the internet when they are planning on expanding, and hence they wouldn't want to miss out on any relevant data just because it is in a different language. And since more than 50% of the content is in English, businesses tend to have a primary incentive of learning English. Other than the mentioned reason, English also happens to be the fastest spreading language in human history, and it happens to be used by around 1.75 billion people worldwide. Now let's take a look at a few reasons as to why English is adopted from a business point of view. Number 1, pressure from competitors. If you want to conduct a business on international grounds, you need to communicate with sellers, buyers, and partners. If you are in luck, then people might understand your native language, but it's not a risk that's worth it. Companies that don't plan on a communication strategy will not be able to survive on international grounds due to competition from local and international players. Most of the countries tend to have English as their second language at least, and hence most of the businesses have switched to communication in English. Hence, in order to avoid themselves from being at a disadvantage against competitors, businesses go on with English only policy. For example, Hiroshi Mikitani is the CEO of a company named as Rakuten. It is Japan's biggest online marketplace. The CEO made a change to switch to English as the company's official language on March 2010, as the company's aim was to be the best in the world. The CEO knew a lot of Japanese employees will be affected by the change, but this transition was vital in order to compete and reach the top position in the world. Second, globalization of resources. Companies tend to have employees who have been dispersed around the world in order to get hands on certain resources or to complete a task. For instance, an employee from Japan may need to get his or her hands on a certain resource from a company in Belgium. Without a common language, a barrier of communication will be in effect. Due to this barrier, the deal might not be done and the employee might have to return empty handed. A common language will increase the chances for the employee to close the deal. For example, Nestle, a Swiss food company, experienced a positive growth in its purchase and hiring pattern after it adopted English as the company's language. Third, international mergers and acquisitions. When you hear the term merger or acquisition, you know that it is a long process and will include a lot of paperwork. Imagine the situation if the companies didn't have a common language to communicate in. The chances of that international merger or acquisition would go down drastically. Due to this, the company would be restricting itself from expansion and wouldn't be able to induce change within their company. For example, Hiroshi Mikitani made it mandatory for all the employees in his company to learn English within a period of 2 years. He replaced all the instructions within the company in English, such as the cafeteria menu being turned into English. He aims at global expansion, and hence, in order to do so, he'll require a large workforce with good competency in English. Thank you.